Good morning, everybody. Let us all take a seat and enter into the sacred space together. So once again, good morning, everybody. Welcome to UU Miami. Whether you're here in a sanctuary or joining us online, we are glad you are with us today. Please come in, make yourself comfortable, and settle into this sacred time and space together. My name is Reverend Dr. Harold Marrero, and I'm joining you this morning by our wonderful pianist, Joseph Telera, and a liturgist, author, who is taking place for Christine today, who is sick. So let us send some healing energies to Christine, who has the flu. If this is your first time with us, welcome. We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation, a community that gathers not around a single creed or belief, but around a shared values of love, justice, compassion, and curiosity. In this space, everyone is truly welcome. People of every background, every identity, and every way of making meaning. Whether you call the holy by many names, by no name at all, or simply feel the wonders, mysteries of life itself, you belong here. And for those joining us online, I invite you to find a small chalice or candle to light with us when we kindle the flame here in the sanctuary, so that wherever you are, we may be all connected by the same light of community and hope. So now if you can, please stand as you're able, as we start today by singing hymn number 203, All Creatures of the Earth and Sky, and join us in body or spirit, the words we projected on the screen.
All creatures of the earth and sky, come, kindred, lift your voices high. Alleluia, alleluia. Bright burning sun with golden beam, soft shining moon with silver gleam. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Swift rushing wind so wild and strong, white clouds that sail in heaven's song. Alleluia, alleluia. Fair rising morn in praise rejoice. High stars of evening find a voice. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Cool flowing water, pure and clear, make music for all life to hear. Alleluia, alleluia. Dance, flame of fire so strong and bright, and bless us with your warmth and light. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Embracing earth you day by day, Bring forth your blessings on your way. Alleluia, alleluia. All herbs and fruits that richly grow, let them the glory also show. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. All you of understanding heart, forgiving others, take your part. Alleluia, alleluia. Let all things now the Holy bless, and worship God in humbleness. Alleluia, 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 alleluia.
Thank you, CJ. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm Arthur. I'm your Christian Gregory for the day. Welcome to our multi-platform space here at the Unitarian Universalist congregation. As a member of the Unitarian Universalist Association, we bring a liberal religious voice to the great city of Miami, a city that we acknowledge that sits on the traditional lands of the Tequesta, the Seminole, and the Miccosukee peoples. Currently, our Sunday services are guided by our worship committee, whose purpose is to support and strengthen our shared ministry. More than ever, we need to be in community together. If you're new and would like to learn more about UU Miami and sharing in this community, please find our contact information on the screen. Our social media is at UUC Miami, or email communications@uumiami.org, or speak to one of those friendly people with a yellow or orange lanyard after the service.
Please stand as you're able and join us in lighting our chalice, the words we projected on the screen. We light this flame to honor the breath of life that moves through all things, the whisper of the wings of the trees, the warmth of the sun upon the soil, the quiet pulse of rivers and roots beneath our feet. This light calls us to remember that we belong to the earth, not as masters or owners, but as kin, as keepers, as co-creators of its future. May this flame kindle gratitude of the life that sustains us and courage to live gently within. Please remain standing and join me in the unison affirmation, first in English and then in Spanish, the words we projected on the screen. Love is the spirit of this faith, and service is this prayer. In love, we agree to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and to help one another. And now in Spanish. El amor es el espíritu de nuestra fe. El servicio es su oración. En amor acordamos vivir unidos en paz, buscar el conocimiento en libertad y ayudarnos al uno al otro. You may be seated.
Thank you so much, Joseph. Our reading this morning is an excerpt from the book The Serviceberry, Abundance and Reciprocity in the Natural World by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Recognizing enoughness is a radical act in an economy that is always urging us to consume more. Data tells us the story that there are enough food calories on the planet for all 8 billion of us to be nourished. And yet, people are starving. Imagine the outcome if each of us only took enough rather than far more than our share. The wealth and security we seem to crave could be met by sharing what we have. Eco-psychologists have shown that the practice of gratitude puts the brakes on hyperconsumption. The relationships nurtured by gift thinking diminish our sense of scarcity and want. In that climate of sufficiency, our hunger for more abates, and we take only what we need, in respect for the generosity of the giver. Climate catastrophe and biodiversity loss are the consequences of unrestrained taking by humans.
And now I'm going to share with you a story for all ages, for the young and for the young in heart that are with us today. The story is titled, The Children Who Shared the Earth. Once in a small village, surrounded by tired, cracked fields, the people were hungry. The rain no longer came. The soil had grown thin. And everyone kept what little food they'd had hidden away. One day, a group of children were playing near the dusty riverbed when they realized that none of them had eaten. They looked at each other and said, "If we all share a little, maybe we can eat together." So they gathered what they could find, a few beans from one pocket, a crushed bread from another, a wilted carrot, a handful of berries. At first, it didn't seem like much, but they found a pot, filled it with water, and began to cook. When the smell drifted through the village, the adults came to see. They saw the children staring their tiny meals and said, "That won't be enough for everyone." But the children just smiled and answered, "It will be if you help." One by one, the adults went home, returning with small gifts to add to the pot: a potato, a pinch of herbs, a little rice. Before long, the pot was full and bubbling. There was enough for everyone, even the elders who could no longer work the fields. And they ate together. They laughed and told stories. And afterwards, the people began to look differently at their land. They stopped fighting over what was left and started caring for what they had. They planted trees, rested the fields, and shared their seeds. The earth began to heal. And from that day on, the villagers said, it was children who taught us to feed one another, and in doing so, they taught us to feed the earth. And so, friends, young and old, the children in our story reminds us of something powerful. When we share what we have, even a little, the world begins to heal. They turn scarcity into abundance, just as we can turn care into renewal. Every act of generosity, every bit of kindness to each other or to the earth becomes a seed of new life. This is how abundance returned to their village, through sharing, through care, through love. And that's how it returns to us too, whenever we choose to love the earth and one another in the same way. That's our story for today. Let us now send the children off to the religious exploration class.
May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
We're going to take a little walk down by the flag to share our joys, sorrows, concerns, and beat poetry. As a community, we support you both in grief and happiness. When you come forward, please state your name. Remember, the service is live streamed, so those online can also share in the chat. Here you go.
Thank you. My name is Bob Jacober. This is my philosophy for the day. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these the homeless tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I just want to say gratitude. I have my two sisters here from out of state. They're not with me today, but they're with me in my heart. So, and we're all together. It's been 7 months since my mother died, and we are moving forward. So thank you for everyone here.
Thank you. Welcome.
I just want to express my gratitude as well. Thinking about the sermon just a minute ago, and I'm thankful for my father. Thank you for coming, Dad, again. This is our second time together. Appreciate you. This week has been got my first paycheck from my new job, so happy about that. Woo! Money. Also, my son got his first paycheck on this Friday. He's 18 years old, so he's working at McDonald's, so I'm happy for him. And, things are on the up and up. All right.
Thank you very much. Bonnie?
I always have a joy to share. This morning, I was a little late because of nature. While I was getting dressed and feeding my piggies, that's another happy joy. I have a new guinea pig. I got a companion for my poor lonely boy yesterday. But while I was preparing, there was a surprise shower, rain shower. And I turned everything off, and I just had to sit there and listen to the perfect music of nature, which is the rain falling through the leaves. I would encourage you to open your windows or go outside when there's a surprise rain shower and listen to that music. And then when I was getting into the car, there was a mockingbird singing. More of the perfect music of nature. And I couldn't leave until he finished, or it would have been rude. But slowed me down a little this morning, but really perked me up. I encourage you, listen to nature. It has a lot to say.
Thank you. We share in those joys and sorrows expressed and those not expressed, but very much with us. Thank you.
Each week, we take a moment to practice one of the simplest and most profound spiritual disciplines, generosity. Your gift sustains this community and help us live out the Universalist values in the wider world. If you're joining us online, you can give by scanning the QR code on your screen. If you're here in the sanctuary, you may place your offering in the basket as is passed, or also scan the QR code on the screen. In giving, we remind ourselves that abundance grows when it is shared, and that generosity is not only an act of kindness, it is the way in which we shape the world toward compassion and justice. Like many Unitarian Universalist congregations around the country, UU Miami shares half of each Sunday's offering with a local partner organization chosen by our Social Justice Committee. These partnerships reflect our shared values and our ongoing commitment to equity, inclusion, and care for our neighbors. From October to December, UU Miami will share the plate with Chainless Change South Florida, a program of support and advocacy for people emerging from jails and prisons. We partner with Chainless Change because this program addresses the real need of individuals for healing and empowerment, while also educating and advocating for systemic change. Chainless Change strives to promote a genuine health, safety, and liberation of our people, all of our people. Please note that Split the Plate applies only to undesignated fund offerings. Pledges and otherwise, especially directed gifts, are not included. Your contribution today will be received in gratitude and used with love, hoping to nurture both the congregation and the larger community we serve together. As we give, let us listen and reflect.
Hello, everyone. Our next reading is another excerpt from the book The Creative Spark: How Imagination Made Humans Exceptional by Agustin Fuentes. Being human is a creative process. But today, with all of our obligations, with all of the complexity of the modern world pulling us in a million directions, taking the time and effort to embrace that creativity seems far removed from our daily routine. We have limited time, energy, and effort. But even if it might be more difficult than it was in the past, we and our families, friends, communities, even our species, need creativity more than ever. Our ancestors set the stage for us by living creative and cooperative lives as individuals and in groups. We can't let that go to waste. 2 million years ago, our small, naked, fangless, hornless, and clawless ancestors, with a few sticks and stones, surmounted near impossible odds. All because they had one another and the spark of creativity. And so do we.
Please join me in this meditation. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of our collective hearts be a seed for awakening, compassion, and renewal for all who are here and afar. So say we all. Amen. Be fruitful and multiply, and have dominion over all living things. These were the words I memorized in Sunday school, that's the supposed marching orders of creation. They shaped how I was taught to see the earth as raw material waiting for human hands to subdue it. They shaped in that worldview, nature was not kin, but quarry, and conquest was called obedience. The church of my childhood, like much of Western civilization, has been haunted by that theology of possession. It told us to rule the world was to reflect their toxic God, and we believed it. The fruits of that haunting are everywhere. We built cities in flood zones and rebuild them after every disaster, calling the next catastrophe an act of God instead of an act of arrogance. We drained the wetlands that would have saved us, paved the fields that could have saved us, that could have fed us. And when the sea rises again, we wonder why the Creator seems angry. It is not wrath from heaven we face, but the echo of our own hubris. Dominion without reverence has become a religion. I saw that faith demon once in the passenger seat of my car. A friend finished his meal, crumbled the bag, and tossed it into the grass. I asked him, "Why would you do that? You're literally littering." And he said, "Why should I care? The world's going to burn anyway." In that moment, I understood how end times theology, which is the theology of the rapture, the theology that God is going to come again and destroy the world and rebuild it and make it new, can turn into nihilism. If one expects rapture instead of responsibility, why bother to plant trees or mend soils? A faith that dreams of escaping the world soon forgets how to love it. That is a demon haunting our religion, the spirit of apathy disguised as hope. Yet, those words come from Genesis. And Genesis itself tells us a different story when we learn to hear it in its original tongue. The Hebrew word rada, often rendered half dominion, carries the sense of shepherding, of guiding with care. Dominion was never licensed for exploitation. It was a vocation of stewardship. And in Genesis 2, it balances the first poem with another commission Humanity is placed in the garden, le avad u shamadit, to serve and to protect it. Service and protection, not domination and depletion, are the twin pillars of creation care. Dominion without service becomes tyranny. Work without reverence becomes futility. True authority is the authority to nurture. Biblical scholar Amy Jill Levine reminds us that nothing destructive is implied in the text itself. It was human interpretation that twisted Rada into conquest. The creation story, she notes, entrusts power precisely to care for what could be victimized by the powerful. Dominion was moral obligation to guard the vulnerable, not a charter to plunder the planet. When the verse was weaponized to bless toxic capitalism, theology itself became an accomplice to extinction. We are not rulers set above creation. We are creation made self-aware. The breath of life moves through us as surely as through the wind and the waves. Every atom in our bones was forged in the heart of a dying star. We are the cosmos contemplating itself. To wound the earth is to pierce our own flesh, for the planet is the large body of which humanity is only a single cell. The collapse of ecosystems, the bleaching of coral, the melting of ice, they're not simply environmental crises. They are a symptom of spiritual amnesia. To awaken again is to remember that life's sacred energy flows through all things. Salvation, then, is not flight from earth, but reunion with it. And Unitarians Universalists name this truth in our seventh principle: respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. That interdependence is nothing less than Genesis reimagined. Creation is covenant, a shared promise to sustain life. Eco-justice, therefore, is not political fashion, but spiritual practice. To compost, to restore wetlands, to defend communities poisoned by profit. These are the sacraments of soil. These are our prayers in motion. Liturgies performed with shovels and seeds. The Jewish mystic and theologian Abraham Joshua Heschel warned that religion dies when it forgets compassion. When faith is replaced by creed, worship by discipline, love by habit, he writes, its message becomes meaningless. To believe rightly about God matters little if we live wrongly towards God's world. For Herschel, heaven and earth are divine. To damage one is sin. Nothing in creation may be discarded or abused, he writes. The enemy is not the flesh, it is the heart and the ego. Creation's redemption begins with the humbling of that ego. Our engaged reading this morning from Robin Wall Kimmerer's The Serviceberry speak to this same sacred economy. She writes that recognizing enoughness is a radical act in our culture, always urging us to consume more. The practice of gratitude, she says, puts brake on that hunger, teaching that in the climate of sufficiency, our craving for more abates. Gratitude heals the illusion of scarcity. The earth already yields enough for all who live in it to take our share and give back in kind. Climate catastrophe and biodiversity loss, she reminds us, are the consequences of unrestrained taking, the consequences of our actions, our economies, our consumption. When we reclaim gratitude, when we bless the table before we eat and the river before we drink, we discover abundance again. The path to healing runs through memory, remembering that the soil is sacred, that dominion means kinship, and that to love the Creator is to love creation as one's own body. And our rich reading from Agustin Fuentes, The Creative Spark, celebrates that same truth. Being human has always meant being creative together. Our ancestors survived not through domination, but through cooperation. 2 million years ago, he writes, our small, fragile ancestors overcame impossible odds because they had one another and the spark of creativity. That spark still burns in us. It is a sacred gift, the holy audacity to imagine and to build a more compassionate world. The call before us, then, is exorcism. We must cast out the demons of toxic dominion that still whisper through the pulpits and the policies alike in this nation, and replace it with blessings, a renewed covenant of mutual flourishing with the earth. Dominion redeemed becomes participation. Humanity becomes the mind of creation turned towards love. So let us leave this sacred space today, resolve not merely to believe in equal justice, but to live it, to be prophets of the soil, ministers of rain, stewards of breath itself. The realm of love is not beyond the stars. It is beneath our feet, waiting to bloom wherever we choose to tend it. So say we all. Amen. I invite you now to find a comfortable position. Feel your feet resting on the ground, steady and strong. Take a deep breath in. Let it out slowly. Take another deep breath in. Let it out. And imagine you are standing on the edge of a quiet forest at sunrise. The air is cool and full of promise. Each breath you take draws in the scent of the earth and the green leaves. You can feel life stirring all around you. You can hear the music of the birds and of life itself. Now imagine a single seed in your hand. It holds the memory of sun and rain, of all who have tended the land before you. Hold that seed in your palm. And remember that you, too, are part of the living web. Save yourself planting in the soil. Cover it gently. As you breathe, imagine roots stretching deep, drawing strength from the earth, while the shoot rises towards the light. In this stillness, know that you are connected to every tree, every river, every breath of wind. You are not separate from creation. You are creation made conscious. Take one more deep breath in and release. and feel the gratitude for the life within and around you. And when you're ready, gently return to this space, bringing with you the quiet knowing you are part of the great turning of the earth toward healing. So may it be.
Please join together for our closing hymn 1028, The Fire of Commitment. The words will be projected on the screen. Please rise in body or spirit and join together.
From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living comes a song bold, brave, and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a tongue prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
Thank you very much to all the very many people who make this Sunday service happen and keep our UU Miami community running, from the dedicated staff to our steadfast volunteers. We thank you, we appreciate you, and we see and we feel your devotion. Thank you. This morning, we offer special thanks to Joseph for accompanying our hymns and providing beautiful music, Derek for running our AV and live stream, and Reverend Dr. Marrero for leading us in worship. And thank you. And thanks, most of all, to all of you here and on the live stream for joining us this morning. Thank you. So lunch will be served. Enjoy a meal with us after the service. After-service meals or snacks are provided by UU Miami friends and members. We're looking for volunteers to help with meals in the upcoming weeks. You can cook, you can cater, you can organize a potluck. Kat will be available on the day of to help you set it all up, and we'll make it as easy for you as we possibly can. And all our I was waiting for the slide to advance. So the packed listening session. Everyone is welcome to join our social justice community as we host a packed congregational listening session. This meeting will take place today after the service from 12:45 to 2 p.m. in the Emerson Room. The packed listening session is a place to share our stories, feelings, and challenges together. It's not about solving problems right away, but about offering each other respect, safety, and the gift of being heard. This is a space to be heard, so participants agree to offer respect, safety, and space. This will not be a time to offer nor analyze solutions. Next Sunday, October the 12th, we continue our theme, Demon-Haunted Faith, with the sermon, Discovery, Haunted by Conquest. The so-called discovery of the New World was not a spiritual triumph. It was a devastation. This Sunday, we name the ghosts of conquest and empire. We listen to indigenous wisdom that has endured despite it all, and we ask what it means to truly discover, not to conquer, but to encounter with humility and respect. Give Miami Day is November the 20th. Our Give Miami Day, hosted by the Miami Foundation. We bring our UU shared values of generosity to life by supporting our beautiful congregation and other vital Miami nonprofits. Together, we cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope, and we'll have more exciting details coming soon. But for now, save the date. Follow us on social media, connect with us on our many channels, and now we will move to the chalice extinguishing ceremony.
As we extinguish this flame, may its light remain within us, a reminder that reverence is not confined to this space, but lived in every act of care. The fire we carry now is the warmth of compassion, the light of awareness, the steady glow of hope for the earth and for one another. The chalice is dark, but our hearts burn bright with the work still to do. Now, friends, go forth in gratitude for the breath of life that sustains you. Go forth in courage to heal the places wounded by forgetfulness and greed. Go forth in love to tend the soil, the spirit, and the shared future of all beings. May you walk lightly upon this earth, knowing that every step can be a prayer, every act of kindness a seed, and every shared meal a sacrament of abundance. Go now and let your life be the living flame that never dies. So say we all. Amen. Go in peace. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I want to introduce myself. I'm a long-time member here.
Okay.
I just haven't been around. And Carol.
Carol, nice to meet you. I'm glad
Thank you
you're
for
here with
today
us.
and everything you're doing.
Yeah, hopefully you'll see more of me.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
You're such a good
And one more thing, everybody. Today was Arthur's first time being a worship associate with me. So thank you, Arthur. He really stepped up to the plate. Christine was sick. She texted me this morning, and she was like, I have someone amazing for you, and amazing. So thank you, Arthur.